Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting English learning journey. Tell me honestly, do you ever feel tired of studying grammar rules, long vocabulary lists, and boring exercises that make English feel like a job instead of a joy? If your answer is yes, then today's lesson will completely change the way you learn English. Because today, we are not going to study English. We are going to feel it, hear it, and enjoy it through short stories. You see, stories are not only for children, they are the most powerful and natural way to learn any language. Think about it. When we were children, we did not learn grammar first. We listened to stories, repeated what we heard, and slowly started speaking word by word, sentence by sentence. That is exactly how you will improve your English today, the natural way. Each short story in this video is simple, meaningful, and full of real-life English sentences that you can use every day. You will hear how people talk, how emotions sound, and how small words can express big ideas. And the best part is, you will learn without even realizing that you are studying. So, if you have ever said things like, I understand English, but I cannot speak it, or I forget words when I try to talk, then stay right here, because short stories will help you fix that. When you listen to stories, your brain connects words with pictures, sounds, and emotions. It becomes easier to remember new words, understand faster, and speak more confidently. So grab your headphones, relax, and let us make English learning fun again. By the end of this video, you will see how short stories can turn boring study time into an exciting English adventure. Now get ready, because your story begins here, and your fluency journey starts right now. The title of our story is The Lost Key. One sunny morning, a girl named Emma was getting ready for school. She looked at the clock and said, "Oh no, I am late again." She quickly packed her books, grabbed her bag, and ran toward the door. But when she reached for her keys, they were gone. Emma looked everywhere. She checked her bag, under the table, inside the drawer, and even behind the curtain. But the keys were nowhere to be found. She said to herself, "Where did I put my keys last night?" She tried to remember, but her mind was blank. Then she smiled and said, "Maybe my keys are hiding from me." After 10 minutes of searching, she sat on the sofa, feeling tired. Then suddenly, she heard a small sound in her pocket. She reached inside and laughed. The keys were there the whole time. Emma shook her head and said, "Sometimes what you were looking for is already with you." Then she smiled, locked the door, and ran to school. This story teaches us two things. First, it reminds us that sometimes we already have the solution. We just need to stop, think, and look carefully. Second, it helps us learn common English sentences that people use in everyday life. Let us repeat some of them together. First, I am late again. Second, where did I put my keys? Third, I cannot find them anywhere. Fourth, maybe my keys are hiding from me. Fifth, what you are looking for is already with you. Try to say them slowly after me. Listen carefully to the rhythm and focus on how each sentence sounds. This is how you train your tongue and mind to speak naturally, step by step. Now, it is your turn. Imagine you are Emma. Say out loud what you would do if you lost your keys. For example, I would check my bag first. I would ask my mother if she saw my keys. I would look under the sofa. The more you speak, the more your confidence will grow. Remember, do not worry about mistakes. Every time you speak, you are improving. Mistakes are not failures. They are proof that you are learning. When you listen to a short story like this, you do not only learn words, you learn how to think in English. Instead of translating from your own language, you start to understand ideas directly in English. That is the secret of fluency. So always listen carefully, repeat aloud, and try to connect the story to your own life. Maybe you have also lost something before your phone, your wallet, or your confidence. Every story can teach a life lesson if you listen with your heart. Remember, fluency does not come from studying hard. It comes from learning smart, and stories are the smartest, easiest, and most enjoyable way to learn English. So keep your energy high and your mind open, because the next story is even more interesting, and it will help you learn new words, new feelings, and new expressions in the simplest way possible. Let us move to the second story, The Honest Seller. In a small town, there lived a man named Tom. He worked at a fruit shop on a busy street. Every morning, he arranged apples, bananas, and oranges neatly on the table. He always smiled and greeted his customers with kindness. People loved coming to his shop because he was polite and helpful. One afternoon, a woman came to buy some fruits. She chose a few apples and handed Tom some money. Tom counted the money quickly and gave her the change. The woman smiled, said thank you, and left. After a few minutes, Tom looked at the counter and realized something surprising. He had given her too much change. He had accidentally returned more money than he should have. Tom felt worried. He said to himself, "What should I do now? I made a mistake." He wanted to find the woman, but she had already gone. Tom felt sad and disappointed. He promised himself to be more careful next time. But after a few minutes, he saw someone walking toward his shop. It was the same woman. She smiled and said, "Excuse me, I think you gave me extra money by mistake." Tom was surprised. "Oh, you came back. Thank you so much for being honest." The woman replied gently, "Honesty always wins. If we are honest, good things always return to us." Tom felt happy and grateful. He said, "You have taught me something valuable today. I will never forget your honesty." She smiled and left, and Tom went back to his work with a peaceful heart. This story teaches us that honesty makes us trustworthy and respected. It also helps us learn useful English expressions and polite sentences that people use in real life. Let us repeat a few of them together. One, excuse me, I think you gave me extra money. 2, thank you for being honest. 3, honesty always wins. 4, you have taught me something valuable. I'll be more careful next time. Listen carefully to each sound and try to say them clearly. This is how you build good pronunciation and natural speaking rhythm. Now it is your turn to speak. Imagine that you are Tom. You made a mistake and want to apologize to a customer. Try saying these sentences aloud. "I am sorry. I made a mistake. Please check the change again. Thank you for being honest." Speaking practice. This helps you prepare for real life situations, not just learning English, but living English. When you listen to stories, your mind starts to connect English with real emotions and actions. You are not just memorizing words. You are feeling them. That is how you train your brain to think in English. Every sentence you listen to becomes a part of your speaking memory. So when you speak next time, words come naturally, like music that you already know by heart. Remember, learning English is not only about grammar or vocabulary. It is about learning through experience. And every story gives you a new experience. Stories help you understand people, emotions, and ideas, just like this one taught you honesty. Now, in the next story, we will learn another important lesson about kindness, empathy, and unexpected friendship. The title of this story is The Broken Umbrella. It was a rainy morning in the city. Dark clouds covered the sky, and the sound of raindrops filled the streets. People were rushing to work, holding umbrellas, and trying not to get wet. Among them was a young woman named Maya. She worked at a nearby office and always walked to work. That morning, she carried her favorite pink umbrella. It was small, but strong, at least. She believed so. Halfway to her office, the wind became stronger. The rain fell harder. Maya tried to hold her umbrella tightly, but suddenly, snap. The umbrella broke into two pieces. Rainwater splashed all over her clothes. She stood there, in the middle of the street, feeling cold, wet, and helpless. She looked around. Everyone was walking fast, trying to protect themselves. No one seemed to notice her. Maya sighed and said softly, "What a bad day." Just then, a man walked toward her. He was holding a big black umbrella. He looked at Maya and said kindly, "Are you all right? Your umbrella is broken. Come, let us share mine." Maya smiled with surprise. "Really? That is very kind of you." He nodded. Of course, the rain is heavy. No one should walk alone in this weather. They walked together under his umbrella, talking as they went. They spoke about work, weather, and life in the city by the time they reached Maya's office. She was smiling again. She said, "Thank you for helping me. You turned my bad morning into a good one." The man smiled and said, "Sometimes rain brings sunshine in a different way." Maya waved goodbye. Her heart full of warmth that day. She learned that a small act of kindness can make a big difference. This story reminds us that kindness costs nothing, but it can mean everything. It also helps us learn how to speak politely and naturally in English conversations. Let us repeat some useful lines from the story. 1. Are you all right? 2. Your umbrella is broken. 3. Let us share mine. For that is very kind of you. 5. Sometimes rain brings sunshine in a different way. Repeat each sentence slowly after me. Try to focus on how your mouth moves when you say each word. This small practice helps you sound smoother and more confident every time you speak. Now it is your turn to practice speaking. Imagine you are Maya and someone helps you during a difficult moment. How would you respond? Try saying these, "Thank you for helping me. You are very kind. I really appreciate your help." Speaking these polite expressions makes your English sound friendly and natural, just like a native speaker. When you listen to stories like this, your brain connects words with emotions. You do not just memorize umbrella or rain, you feel them. This emotional connection makes learning easier and faster. So every time you hear a story, try to feel the scene in your mind. Now, it is time for another heart-touching story. A story about dreams, hope, and believing in yourself. The title of this story is The Little Dreamer. There once was a small boy named Arif. He lived in a quiet village surrounded by green hills and a clear blue sky. Every morning, he would sit on a big rock near the river and watch the birds flying high. He always said to himself, "One day, I will fly to... I want to see the world." But in Arif's village, People did not dream big. Most villagers worked in the fields or sold things in the market. When Arif told them about his dream, they laughed. Fly, you were just a small boy from a small village, they said. But Arif never stopped dreaming. At night, he read old books that he borrowed from his teacher. He learned about airplanes, pilots, and clouds. He did not understand everything, but he never gave up. Every day, he repeated one sentence: I can learn, I can grow, and I can fly. Years passed, and Arif became a young man. He worked hard, saved money, and went to the city to study. There, he saw real airplanes for the first time. The sound of engines, the people traveling, everything felt like magic. Arif studied day and night. He faced many problems. Sometimes he had no money for books. Sometimes he felt tired, but he always remembered his dream. He said, dreams only come true when we do not stop walking toward them. Finally, after years of effort, Arif became a pilot. The first time he sat in the cockpit, he smiled and said softly, I told you, I will fly. As the plane rose above the clouds, he looked down at the tiny village far below. He whispered, this is for everyone who said I could not. This story teaches us that no dream is too big if your heart is strong. Even if others doubt you, you must never doubt yourself. Dreams need courage, patience, and hard work, just like learning English. When you say, I can speak English, believe it. When you practice every day, step by step, you are flying toward your goal, just like Arif. Useful English sentences from the story. One day, I will fly to. 2, dreams only come true when we do not stop walking toward them. 3, I can learn, I can grow, and I can fly. For no dream is too big if your heart is strong. 5, believe in yourself. Repeat these sentences slowly after me. Try to speak with confidence and emotion, because words become powerful when your voice carries belief. Every time you say positive sentences like, I can do it, will achieve it, you are training both your English and your mind. Your voice builds your confidence, and your confidence improves your English. Remember, every big success starts with a small dream. Just like Arif, you can achieve anything if you keep learning, keep believing, and never stop trying. So do not stop here, because our next story will take you even deeper into a lesson about patience, hard work, and how small steps create big change. We have come a long way together through stories full of kindness, courage, and dreams. Each story you heard was not just about people or places. It was about you and your English journey. Now, let me share our last short story, The Bridge of Words. There was once a girl named Amina who lived near the sea. One day, a new girl came to her school. She was from another country and could not speak English well. Amina wanted to help her. So every day, she brought small picture cards, sun, tree, home, ish, and taught her their English names. At first, it was difficult. They laughed at mistakes and used hands to explain things. But slowly, they started to understand each other. The new girl began to speak English with confidence. And one day, she answered a question in class perfectly in English. Everyone clapped, and Amina smiled proudly. She said, see, Words can build bridges. Learning English is not only about grammar or vocabulary, it is about connection. Each word you learn helps you understand people, share your ideas, and build new friendships. Repeat these sentences with me. 1. Words can build bridges. 2. Learning connects people. 3. Every word I learn makes me stronger. For I can speak, I can understand, and I can connect. 5. My English is my bridge to the world. My friend, as you finish this video, remember, you are no longer just a learner. You are a story listener, a speaker, and a builder of bridges. You have learned English through emotions, pictures, and real-life lessons the most natural and powerful way. Your pronunciation, listening, and speaking will keep improving if you continue this habit every day. So keep watching, keep repeating, and keep believing in your progress. Even one story a day can change your confidence completely. Thank you for learning with me today. If you enjoyed this lesson, share it with someone who also dreams of speaking English fluently, because together we can build millions of bridges made of words, hope, and understanding. This is not the end, my friend. This is just the beginning of your English journey. Until next time, keep shining, keep speaking, and keep building your bridge of words.